You are not listening to the voice of IWA Flip here on Uncensored Radio. Back from wherever the fuck hole he was hiding under. Welcome back to the voice of Interfed Radio, if that shit even exists. Flip, how the fuck have you, brother?
Oh man, I'm living well, brother. I mean, I really am. I mean, shout out to everybody out there in the Wicked Warz League. Fuck me, man. I mean, life is good. For me, outside of the IWA, unfortunately, my time has just like uh, like Perfecto's eyes shut.
Yeah. But again,
Oh
I've mentioned
man.
it in my podcast in the past. Real life happens, man. So no ill will, no hard feelings here. You still a piece of shit, but I'm glad you're back, brother. I missed you.
Oh man, I feel the love. Yeah, no. Before we get too deep into this wormhole here, brother.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
yeah, shout out to all the managers in the IWA. Like I said, we do these podcasts to try and catch everybody up with what's going on, and those of you guys that have been listening to Interfed Radio, we haven't disappeared. It's just the time is just killed every single one of us. I mean, shout out to all the managers that used to help me out or that still help me out with Interfed Radio. It's just our conflict in times, and like I said, even as we speak right now, Melvin, how many times did we try to get a show prior to this one?
Shit, this is like the third, fourth time already.
Yeah,
Even
man.
for
But
myself, man. Life happens, man. I'm guilty of that shit myself. So it happens to all of us,
I think
Sometimes it's yeah, go ahead.
I think you said it best before we started recording. You got to play within your means.
Mm-hmm.
I think for a while there, I had so much free time, and it seemed like I was everywhere, brother. I was in
Yeah.
as many leagues as I could try to get to. I mean, I was working graveyards. I had plenty of time to do graphics and write ups and catch up on this and that. And because I had the afternoons off, it let me record with all my East Coast friends.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm working afternoons, I'm getting home way too late for we're gonna have to start doing midnight recordings for and that's not fair to you guys in the East Coast, but
Yeah. Listen,
uh,
if it comes down to it, man, if I gotta make time for those in my schedule, I'll definitely do a few here and there. So if we gotta work around a midnight schedule, we'll do it one day. I'm with it.
oh yeah, oh yeah, sounds good, brother. But
I don't want
dude,
you. I don't want you to feel left out, brother.
oh man, dude, I think I was moaning and crying to Melvin like I'm gonna do my own shows by myself, like oh man, yeah,
Yeah, if you guys are listening, he was crying like
oh,
a little bitch.
son of
But yeah,
oh
man, like I said, it's just glad. It's good to hear your voice on here again, man. It's been too long.
brother. Now, shit, I've missed what 2, 3 pay-per-views already? No,
You miss
two.
like every pay per view, every bulletin. You got gray hairs growing out, fucking you all over the place.
Damn, I
Nah, you
saw
only missed
myself.
one, man. You missed all out mutiny. You didn't miss much.
I saw myself on the milk carton.
Yes, you did. Perfecto's missing. Where the fuck did he go?
Ah, dang it. Damn, man.
But again, it's again, life happens, man. But you're back in the fold. I'm gonna try to carry as best I can. I'm gonna throw my jabs in there, bro. Fuck that, you
Oh
deserve
man.
it.
Now
But other
shout
than
out
that,
to oh yeah. Now last time I was and I'm just throwing shit from, my memory. We had that the two Survivor Dynasty members going up against was it Hal or Big Daddy?
Hal Uranus. This was the last pay per view. And for anybody listening, if you need to catch up, like Flip here obviously does, yeah, Giuliano did do a pay per view recap of All Out Mutiny. We did go through all the matches. So if anybody out there, especially for the new managers coming on board, you guys know who you are. Again, Flip, I don't mention managers by name unless they allow me to. So for now, those managers know who they are. And if you need to get caught up on what's been going on with the league, definitely catch that last podcast I did with Giuliano. Again, we covered All Out Mutiny, what happened because there was some controversy, especially in the Nefarious match.
No,
But
not in
yeah,
the Wicked Warz
oh yeah,
League.
not here, of course not.
Controversy?
What do
What?
you think? But yeah,
Oh,
definitely
man.
check that one out if you need to get caught up. We did a in-depth review on that. So, but
Nice.
yeah, you are right. It was a triple threat. And the end result ended up being we have a new Nefarious World Heavyweight Champion.
Ooh,
Hal's reign is over, and Big Brother Survivor got the pink slip and got the fuck out of the WWO. I do believe he is now in the XPL, if I'm not mistaken. So
nice, nice.
kudos to him to go help that league. But As far as WWL, go fuck yourself. You gone.
Like your contract is over.
Contract's done. Fuck out. You
Now,
know how we do, man. You know the league is ultra competitive.
one of my coworkers, I was, listening to some of the shows. He's like, "Man, what the hell are you listening to, bro?" For anyone listening that's not familiar with what in the world we're talking about, Wicked Warz League or XPL, this is all a part of PlayIWA.com. The IWA is play-by-mail game. A lot of fun if you are into wrestling, if you like to create characters and kind of run an angle, run a story. I highly recommend you know coming on board, and especially if you're into especially if you're into characters. I highly recommend the Diamond League's Wicked Warz League. Like we were talking right before we started recording, brother. Now with my limited time, I gotta pick and choose. Where I promote and where I keep my focus. And obviously, I'm an angle-based player, so I'm gonna go with leagues that run angle-based pay-per-views and trash talk, like the Wicked Warz League.
Damn right.
Nothing against the other leagues. Like I'll be the first one to say it, but I've been in this long enough now where I can honestly say it. There's a lot of fucking ways to play this game. A lot of ways. And I'm not.
Choose your bubble.
Yeah, I'm not knocking any of them. You just got to know what you want to do, how you want to play this game. There's a lot of great leagues. I'm myself, I'm an angle-based player. If you're looking for angle-based pay-per-views, angle-based action, bar none. The Diamond League, Wicked Warz League, Uncensored, come get some.
Just like he said, this is guy says Uncensored, even though I did say it in the beginning when I introduced us, but this is the only 100% uncensored league in the entire IWA. You will not find a league anywhere else where managers have 100% creative freedom. They can say whatever the fuck they want, post pics of whatever the fuck they want, and take any angle that their minds can come up with. So if you're looking for a league, you can do whatever.
Just so the managers listening understand why this is like that. The gold standard himself has asked for the league to be pulled off of the radar. So
absolutely
everything that we send to Melvin gets printed, exclusively for the Wicked Warz League. IWA doesn't put any stars or anything. I mean, it is nothing. It's officially uncensored. I mean, I wouldn't even go about calling it a 18 and over league. There's plenty of IWA leagues.
Oh no, this is within the game, brother.
Oh yeah, this is out there. This is definitely out there. So again, definitely a league to check out. And Melvin, correct me if I'm wrong, but the goal is a pay-per-view every 5 cycles.
We're averaging about every 4 to 5 cycles. We definitely like to give enough time to let some of the feuds simmer and build some momentum. We don't just like we touched earlier. You mentioned some leagues do it like every cycle, which I still have no idea how the fuck they pull that off. But again, everybody's in their bubbles. They work the way they want to. Here in the WWL, we like to build storylines. So we like to evolve. If there's a feud, we like to let feuds carry over. Sometimes it can carry over from one pay-per-view to the next, but we definitely like to hold on to the history behind that feud, because in my opinion, it just makes a storyline that much better when you can actually dial back and relive what led to the match taking place in the first place. So that's just the way we roll here in Wicked Warz.
Well, yeah, and just to throw back to the game of yesteryears, where you would receive a bulletin and have to respond by mail.
Exactly.
So you had to have that build up in the old school. And so we kind of want to keep that feel that, hey, you know what? Someone's talking smack, someone's talking shit, someone's saying something.
Want to give them time.
Yeah,
to say something.
Exactly. The rebuttal is very important. So.
Yeah. Well, what it is though, Flip, and I'm sure you'll agree, and this is why I was skeptical of making the jump to the Facebook page, but it's the world we live in now. Back then we didn't have the internet access, social media, Facebook making things so instant. A lot of managers like the fact that, once a bulletin comes out, they can continue feuding online and continue these feuds. So it's not so much that, between bulletins there's nothing going on. There's a lot going on. It's just happening too fast, in my opinion, in real time. And that's where have that fucking, it's kind of killing the old school way of playing, where you had to wait. You were forced to wait, and that anticipation would build. Now there is no anticipation. You get the fucking report, and 5 minutes later somebody's posting something about a match or saying something.
Right.
And
now, but I think that's where you play a vital role in this. Whereas Hey, again, I say this and I'll say it over and over. Everybody's going to play their way. Everyone's going to, play how they want to play. That's awesome.
Mhm,
And I think that's what makes the WWL special,
mhm,
where because of the people at the top that are running the show, they kind of, hey, you know what? Throttle down, brother. Like, hey, good. You want a steel chair match? That's awesome. Cool. Just wait for the pay-per-view.
mhm.
You can have your fights in between. Yeah, you can have but if you want that big match, if you want that the match with the stipulations, or if you want that match, with the Inferno ring, or wherever in the world you want to have or
Mhm.
type of match you want to have, save it for the pay-per-view.
Or your
Build it.
favorite, the pits,
Fuck.
the pit
Save
matches.
save it for the pay-per-view, and yeah,
Yeah, man.
oh, believe me, brother. Yeah, I think like you mentioned, social media, and shout out to the Wicked Wars who jumped onto Facebook. I know you were
Absolutely. Thank you
reluctant,
all.
so I guess I got to get back on that Facebook thing too, man. Jeez, man.
Mhm.
But
Again, I was hesitant, but I feel, the reason I went ahead and did it is because the managers, again, that's one of the perks of my league is that I know everybody that's in the league because it's invitation only. So if you're in my league to begin with, I'm always in communication with you. So I think everyone understands that the general rule is to not go overboard on the page itself because you need to leave some for the bulletin. So we kind of have that agreement. And because of that, I said, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do the Facebook page. So as of now, for anybody listening and anybody that's coming back to the league, the pro boards, the old war room is no more. It's officially defunct. Not using it. I do have enough history from the first couple of cycles there, so I will use that as like a database, so to speak. But moving forward, everything will be taking place on the Facebook page.
nice, nice. Now, All Out Mutiny behind us.
Yes,
We got some
this
we got
this
some new
cycle.
managers.
Oh yeah, we got a lot of news going on. Before we get into that, I'm just gonna run down, if you don't mind, the bulletin title winners from this last cycle, just to
Oh,
get
most
that out of
definitely.
the way, let everybody know who's won, who's on the title page right now. Um, where do I start? Crest of Chaos. We have Elik, and I don't know if you know this, but Elik is actually a recent IWA World Championship winner. So for anybody
Nice.
out there that doesn't know that, Elik, I believe it was 2 cycles ago, did win it all. So he did represent. He did post something on the IWA homepage, giving a shout out to the WWL. So kudos to you, Elik, if you're listening to Annihilation Inc. You did what every manager in this game tries to do. Cycle in, cycle out. That's win the big one, and you did that, and you represented the Wicked Wars. So thank you for that, and you are now the Crest of Chaos champion. So kudos to you. Again, Flip, I'm not sure if you're aware of that, but yes, he was.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Next up, we have the Twisted Carnage champion, the future Devin Destiny, Smoldering Sorrow champion, Impenetrable King, Court of Torment champion. We have the Impassive Knave, leader of the agents, the Belt of Subtlety, Irritated Cannibal, Ending Misery. We have Holocaust of the Crypt Keepers, Girdle of the Berserk. We have Daddy's Girl #1 of the infamous Three Girls One Cup, which we'll get to them later. Infernal Vengeance, Lord Larius, Gunbelt of Hell, Insidious Crusader, Chain of Echoes champion. We have the Mexican sensation Inazuma. We'll touch on her also. Shattered Bloodlust. We have one half of the Poison Brothers, Poison One. Whispered Agony champion Irresistible Candy, first female of the agents. Band of Distant Wars. We have Daddy's Girl 2 and Daddy's Girl 3. Band of Distant Wars TV. We have Axel and Slash. Circle of Sanity champions. We have again Axel, Slash, and Crown as well. And rounding out Circle of Sanity TV, of course, the historic Michael Giuliano, future Devin Destiny, and the insurance policy. Battle Royal winner was Skip Stonewall. So that rounds out the title page for all of those who don't know, especially you, Flip, coming back. Just so
Man, what
you
a
know
what?
who the titles
Hey,
are.
hey, I must have picked a great cycle to come back, man, because it looks like these
Yes, you
agents
did.
finally did something.
Oh, well, finally. Fuck you, Flip. Let me tell you something. First of all, let's not have this discussion again. But no, Nate did make a bold proclamation prior to the cycle starting, saying that everything's in motion now. The plan is set. Unholy Alliance is here. He did say they were going to come out and take everybody's gold, and guess what? That's exactly what the agents did. They came out and they almost swept the entire page. Almost all 8 of them ended up with titles this cycle. So it was a great run for them. Of course, you know as well as I know, Flip. I might have a great cycle, this time around, but next cycle maybe not so much. So this league is that competitive. But you mentioned this before. If you're even able to get a single belt, period, on that title page, that means you're good enough, to be in this league. So I don't want people to think that if you only get one, that you're a nobody. No, even if you get one, that's a significant win, and you should brag about that as much as you can. Wouldn't you agree?
Oh, dude. I mean, when you got, I mean, let's say it like it is, brother. I mean, I've ventured into a lot of leagues, and there's certain players that just can hold their own, like above, like there's that Mendoza line, and then you got, you know, that crew, and there's,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. I mean, the WWL definitely got its fair share of those way above the Mendoza line, brother. Because, yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh,
And
yeah.
again, we have some of the best managers, bar none, in the entire IWA, and they're all calling the WWL home. We have some new ones. Just to piggyback on what you mentioned earlier, now we're going to get into what we were talking about, where we do have some new additions that are coming on board. Actually, right now, the league, to be honest, it seems like we're finally hitting our stride. Like now, the WWL, everybody's locked in. I'm locked in. We got new people that caught wind of the league in general. They saw my report. I started doing stuff behind the scenes to try to get them on board. They're here. So now, this cycle alone, we had a debut of the Pure Hearts. Their angle to me is gonna be hysterical, only because and Flip, you know this better than anybody. This league is super perverted. We do have
No,
no,
no.
right? We do have certain characters that are a bit over the top here, and the Pure Hearts are trying to, I guess, eradicate that. They're like the righteous ones trying to rid the WWL of all the profanity and the sexuality and all the craziness. So good luck to them trying to do that.
Hey,
I don't think they're gonna, pull that shit off. But listen, I can't knock them for trying. So we'll see where they go. And I do believe that there are siblings. It's two brothers. I believe it's Jacob and Nigel, and then his sister Abigail is a third. So those three make up the Pure Hearts. They did debut this cycle, so I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store for us and where they go with this angle that they're trying to pull off. Which again, I
now,
think is going to be
now,
almost
now,
impossible.
right now that you said that name, I don't know where I know it from, but Sister Abigail is definitely ringing like a Liberty Bell in my head, bro. I just went like gung, like.
Again, these are some people that either may have been in other leagues or they just got created for the first time. Not sure,
Huh.
but I do know that we do have a blockbuster signing that just took place recently. And to me, this is a big deal because it adds a big boost to the tag division, which is already stacked as it is. But in case anybody's living under a rock, Black Mass is officially in the WWL. For those of you who
No
don't know, that's
way.
Buford Blackfoot and Humongous. They have left the LWL. Yes, I said it. Dropped the
Oof.
Imperial. Well, actually, I believe they got stripped of the Imperial tag titles because the commissioner was on some shit over there. I don't want to get into that. That's not my business. But they dropped the titles, threw them in the garbage, a la Alundra Blaze, and they are officially in the Wicked Warz League.
Wow. That, you know what? I had previously mentioned them on Interfed Radio.
Mm-hmm.
That tag team right there is another one of those like. I mean, I see them. I think of them kind of like the old Ric Flair that would just go from promotion to promotion and just.
Yeah, they're like journeymen. They go, league to league, the best
Yeah,
leagues, and they
yeah,
try to
and
take over their divisions and then go somewhere else. So,
nice, nice.
I mean, listen, for the time that they're going to be in the
Well, I mean,
WWL with our
welcome to
little
the
bit of
Wicked Warriors League.
absolutely, definitely welcome.
Oh
Glad you
yeah,
guys, took the plunge. But I got to tell you, Flip, it's not gonna be easy feat trying to get those mayhem titles from any tag team in our league because again, the competition in this league is bar none one of the hardest and best in the IWA. So if they can do it here, then they're the truth. They're legit. So let's see how good they really are. I think this is going to be a nice proving ground for them and to really boast their claim to become the best tag team in the IWA history. Because according
nice.
to
I
them,
mean,
that's what they're trying to.
I'm just glad they're here, and I'm just glad we're gonna get to witness the dynasty versus Black Mass because I think
Oh
that's
yeah.
one that outside of the Wicked War Leagues, that's what some people got to understand is that and I'm going to end up in that same kind of realm. Like there's going to be managers that you're only going to be able to go. Not that I'm comparing myself to the historic one and the dynasty,
Please
but
don't
there
do
are
that. Don't talk about the God that way.
but there are certain managers that are exclusive to some federations. There are
Yes.
some
Mhm.
certain managers that are exclusive to some leagues.
Exactly.
Obviously, Melvin, and and the historic one, they kind of anchored themselves here. I think Giuliano is venturing off into certain into other aspects, but at the same time, like I said, I know this is where he's anchored, and
Yes.
I
The
can't
home league.
wait.
The home league. I think that's how they call it. Home league, right?
Home league right there, brother.
That's
So
how I look at it. That's the home league.
welcome Black Mass, and this is gonna get real.
Yeah. Oh, if you see already, they already there's already a feud. They haven't even debuted. And would you believe who they're feuding with is the Fortune Men Runners. And Flip, you already know Van, the Shadow, and Tony Lowe, like these guys, FMR is no joke. And
Oh
they're
no.
also a journeyman tag team. They were actually in the WWL previously. They left. They actually left the league when they were about to become, I believe it was they were going for the tag titles and they left just to like I guess send a message to myself at the time. But now they found their way back, and because of that, I inserted them into the tag team title match at Brimstone Brawl. So
Ooh,
they're back and they're
nice.
already feuding with Black Mass. So this is gonna be, you already know, this is
Yeah,
gonna be a
those
good one.
yeah, oh yeah, that's definitely one of those tag team duels for the
Oh
ages, brother.
yeah,
Because like I
yeah,
said,
Valen
anything.
and Lowen, those two, forget about it.
Oh yeah, they'll kick you in the nuts they'll kick you in the nuts when you're not looking, brother. So
Yeah, and
watch.
then they'll burn you. Burn something down, fucking arsonists. So
Oh,
this is gonna be
nice,
fun.
nice.
All right. So aside from that, we also have the return of Dark America. I'm saying it now. I have been in talk with the managers. They are making a return. I'm not going to get into the reasons why they left or why they're coming back. Just know that they are coming back, and I believe they already have their sights set on somebody. So we're going to see exactly how that plays out. But unofficially, welcome back to Dark America whenever it is you guys do decide to come. It might be this cycle, might be the following, but they are on their way back, and I'm actually super excited to have that group back. Um,
Nice. I
we
mean,
also, yeah,
let's say it like it is, Melvin. I think we touched on this one of the first podcasts where we're kind of just trying to get everything settled and everything
mhm,
situated. Where it's, I mean, we definitely want activity. I mean, activity is key to a league survival.
exactly.
But there's something special about the Wicked Warz League where I think the group of friends that's involved with the league is just
Mhm.
like they're all adults. I mean everybody here knows each other. We know, hey, we know what everybody can produce, and I think there's times where someone pulls a little more than another, but at the end of the day, if the core is there, this league is definitely a must play league.
Absolutely, totally agree. And again, that's where we're heading at right now. It's like I mentioned earlier, we're finally like we're hitting our stride right now, and
Nice.
I'm lucky enough to have been patient to really, I told you I was taking some time to think it through and ask myself, do I want to do this and stay in it, the way I know I can. And for anybody that got my last report, I'm pretty sure you see just how serious I am. I put out probably one of the best reports I've ever done this last cycle, and it's only getting better. I've revised the entire report. I've added some new sections. I'm adding some more this cycle, and it's time to push this league to where I know it can go, and especially with these new additions that we have coming on, and again some returning managers. I'm right now as excited as I was when I first opened this league. So let's see where it goes from here.
Nice. Now,
Yeah.
in terms of where it's going, what's the next pay per view that we got? I know.
This pay-per-view coming up now is Brimstone Brawl, and this is a huge one, not because of the Mayhem title matches, but because what the main event is. And this is going to be an annual thing. The main event is the Calamity Contract Over the Top Battle Royal. Now, for
Nice.
anybody that doesn't know what that is, you're basically going to have representatives from the men's division, representatives from the women's division. They're all going to be in one inclusive battle royal. The winner will get 1 million in iCash plus 25 free matches. But the main thing that they get aside from that is the Calamity Contract briefcase. Depending on who wins, whether it's a female or if it's a male, you get to pick which Mayhem title or titles you want to go after anytime, anywhere, any place.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, so it's our version of kind of like the Money in the Bank. So it's gonna be interesting, to see not only who wins it, but what titles they're gonna go after and when they're gonna cash those in, because they can cash it anytime they want.
Nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
we like that.
Oh yeah. So that's going to be the main event for this pay-per-view coming up. And speaking of pay-per-views, might as well just jump into the little preview that we're going to cover now. We'll go from top to bottom. Last time I did from bottom to top. We're going to go from the main ones down. So first up, we have the Nefarious World Heavyweight Championship match. This one, I thought the last one was great. Obviously, the last one was career versus title, which to this day is probably one of the craziest stipulations I've ever heard of in a title match. And this time around, we're going to have Extreme Survivor, again, fresh off defeating Hal on that ridiculously long run he had with the Nefarious title. But he will be facing, I think, probably the hottest star, one of the hottest stars in the WWO right now, was 1/4 of the Crypt Keepers, and that's Mike Pizzazz. And this dude, he became the first single star to win one of the regional titles for 3 cycles straight. And again, just winning it once is a big deal.
Yeah,
to win it twice and defend it is good, but to do it 3 times, shit, yeah, he did. And it wasn't only just in the singles, but he was doing it in 6-man as well. So Mike Pizzazz definitely earned his spot here. And then who is the third one? Again, recent IWA World Champion Alec of Annihilation Inc. Nice. So listen, this is about as big as it gets. Aside from the last one we had, these 3 all deserve to be here. And just so you know, breaking news: the guest referee will be Skyblade, the Tiger King. So just to sprinkle on some holy shit on this match that's already amazing, there's the wild card. So I'm going to leave it at that and move on to the next one.
Nice.
Next up, we have the Goddess Extreme Women's World Championship. Flip, you already know, man. This one, I don't want to say this is a foregone conclusion, but we have the Black Widow, Denise Destiny, who's pretty much owned this title since she beat Eva Danger in that historic steel cage match. Now she's facing the up-and-coming star who's really had a breakout last 3 cycles, and that is Inazuma. And she's a Mexican luchadora, and she basically is very soft-spoken, doesn't talk much, but she's been doing a hell of a lot of talking on that title page. So she definitely deserves this opportunity. And I can't call this one only because the amount of momentum Inazuma has right now is greater than any other female competitor that Denise has faced. So because of that, I don't want to count her out. But Flip, you already know how just destructive Denise can be, especially when the spotlight is on her. So I mean, at one point I was saying I'm going to throw men at her because there was nobody left for her to face. So let's see what happens. I'm not going to, again, I'm not going to put Inazuma and say that she's not going to win, but it's going to be really, really hard for her to pull that off and upset Denise when she's at her best. So.
Oh yeah, I mean, you got people like I mean, I'm gonna reference football because we're in football season, but I mean, someone like this rookie kid from Kansas City, Mahomes, is good. That's how I see Inazuma, but. You got Denise Destiny, who's, the GOAT, and
pretty much.
Yeah, good luck. I mean, that's all we can say, And if you don't want luck, then, yeah.
Well, listen, you're not going to, it's like they say, to be the best, you gotta beat the best. So let's see if she can do it. If she's really the next big thing, she needs to get past Denise. So we'll see how that one plays out.
Oh, yeah.
Next up, we have the Wicked Wayward Intercontinental Championship. This one, I think, to me, is the match I'm looking forward to the most out of all of them. Why? Because we have defending champion, and you already know one half of Johnson and Uranus, Big Daddy Johnson, who has always been and continues to be one of the best wrestlers, best all-around wrestlers in the WWO from day one. And that person going up against him will be none other than the future Devin Destiny. Again, if for anyone who doesn't know, Devin Destiny is basically the golden child of the Survivor dynasty. He's the one that they're putting all their money on to carry them into the next generation, so to speak. And he's deserved it, man. Devin Destiny has been on a fucking tear lately. So
he better watch himself. If not, Big Daddy's gonna tear him a new you know what.
Oh, of course, but right now, listen, this guy, he's been nothing but impressive from the time he arrived here. But again, not only because of singles, but remember, he's also 1/3 of the Unholy Trinity champions right now. So he's been doing it from day one since he got here, and just like everybody else in the Survivor dynasty, they came, they saw, they conquered. I don't want to use that cliche line, but that's exactly what they did. So
yeah.
It's gonna be a good one, and I'm definitely looking forward to that one the most out of all of these matches. Next up, we have the Eliminator X World Championship. We have champion again. He was a former double Mayhem champion, and that is none other than Hal Uranus. He's a little bit banged up right now. You'll read about that in this upcoming report. He was in a wheelchair. He was all fucked up from the attack Skyblade had on him. Again, there was controversy in the last match that he was involved in as far as title matches. For anybody that doesn't know, go back and listen to the podcast I did with Giuliano. Again, we covered that. I'm not going to cover that here, but he is banged up. But Flip, what do we say? Doesn't matter how hurt you are, get your ass in the ring.
Oh yeah,
You got to fight. Doesn't matter if you're crippled or what.
What was it? What was it? If you can't get yourself, we'll get you in the ring. Don't worry.
That's it. We'll fucking fly you in there. We'll do whatever we need to do, but
Yep.
you're gonna get your ass in the ring and perform. And Hal Uranus will be going up against 1/3 of the Stonewall brothers, Buff Stonewall, which, to my opinion, he's actually the more decorated out of the his siblings.
I was about to tell you that. I know these guys work very well individually. I'm curious to see them in singles action now, because
Oh, absolutely. I mean, again, he earned this spot. Again, for anybody that doesn't know, the Eliminator X World Championship, to be contendership, is about the battle royals, how many people you throwing out, if you won them, and he's definitely over from the first cycle to now, has deserved this spot, so he's going to get his chance, and let's see if he can capitalize and take Hal completely out of the Mayhem title picture, because this will be the first time in, I think, 10 cycles now that he would not be mentioned as a champion.
Oof, nice.
All right, next up. Oh shit! I think I lost my mic. You there?
Oh yeah. No, you're there. I can still hear you. You were going in and out. I just thought you were going through a wormhole or something.
Fuck. No, it was my headset just unplugged. All right, so what was the last thing you heard me say, Flip? I don't want.
Oh no. You actually came through. It just sounded like you were just like away.
Oh, okay, good. So I don't gotta repeat myself. Fuck everybody listening. I'm gonna repeat myself. All right, next up we have the Dual Combat Women's World Tag Team Championship. This is going to be a good one. Flip, you know why? We got 2/3 of 3 Girls 1 Cup, and they're probably the best tag team in the entire game, to be honest, women or men. That's Daddy's Girl 2 and Daddy's Girls 3. They're actually one of the more I guess loved. They have the biggest fan base by far in WWL. What? And they're going up against the Savages, who have finally earned their spot because they were doing great, flying under the radar. I've decided to give them their moment to shine and see just how good those hairy bitches are, Flip.
Yeah.
What do you think? Yeah. Do I need to keep them in shape and shave them up again?
Yeah, you know what? Well, you know what? I think the hairy versus buff look is going to be an interesting combo there. In that.
You think?
Oh yeah.
So this is gonna be a fun one to see who wins this.
Now,
I don't know how that is.
Let's let's go and break the fourth wall a little bit and see. I mean, there's certain managers that run tag teams. There's certain managers that run 6-man strategies. You know, for those veterans listening, obviously you guys know what we're talking about. For those new to the game, the way you can flow your numbers, flow your strategies. To kind of cover, for a tag team or cover for a 6-man. There are methods to the madness, and Daddy's Girl's manager, holy moly, bro, can they bring it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, arguably, their manager, he's in the discussion for probably top 2 managers in the league. I don't think anybody would disagree with that right now. There's probably 2. He's one of them. So he knows what he's doing, man. And Daddy's Girls, again, they've been proving it from day one, and they're still here.
And I think both of those 2 managers can not only hold it on the title page, but they can hold the mic. I mean, I think that's what makes them special.
They're all around talented. Which is great. That's the reason why I brought them into the league to begin with, and I'm glad they're here, man. So next up, we have the Mayhem Men's World Tag Team Championship. I mentioned this earlier. This is going to be a good one, man. Again, we have the champions, the Lightning Kings, who have been on a fucking tear. When I say a tear, these 2 fucking people have been just killing the tag team division, winning belt after belt after belt. So, and again, they beat the Brothers of Destruction, Fire and Ice, which nobody saw that shit coming. Took the belts from them at All Out Mutiny. They are the champions. They're going in with all kinds of momentum, but standing on the opposite end of that ring will be none other than FMR, who are back officially in the league. For those who don't know, Fortune Men Runners were probably the best tag team up until when they left. They had a departure. They had their reasons. They're back. They left when they were actually finalists in the tag tournament. So they were supposed to be in a title match, but they left. So because of that, I'm not a complete asshole. I'm granting them that title shot on their way back in. So they will be going up against the Lightning Kings for a chance at those Mayhem Tag Team Championships this cycle.
Nice, very nice.
So that's gonna be fucking crazy. And
Man,
again, there's already been some back and forth between them. Fortune Men Runners already burned down the Lightning Kings training grounds. Lightning Kings retaliated and burned down Valen's car. So they've already been going back and forth. So this is actually a feud that's been bubbling up, and I'm really, really looking forward to seeing which of these tag teams are the better at the moment, anyway.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think that's the way, you know. I mean, even if you step away from the game, I think that's just the way real wrestling is. I mean, you have your great tag teams, you know, that are great for, you know, an era, that are great for a couple of months, but yeah, there's some tag teams, you know, that become legends, you know, like the Road Warriors, like the Four Horsemen, like, I mean, and I put FMR in that same category. I mean, they've been doing it consistently from league to league for you know years here in the IWA. So shout out to their manager, and good luck against those Lightning Kings, because I know ever since they showed up, they've been holding it down as well. So
oh yeah, from day one they've been on, like I said, they've been on a tear, and they've shown it. And their biggest test was again being thrown into that match against Fire and Ice and actually seeing if they could win. And sure enough, they knocked off, which at the time was the best tag team. And now, you know, obviously they beat the best, so they are the best. So let's see where they go from here. Next up, we have match number 1, best 4 out of 7. This is the return of a series I used to do in the former NBL, and that is the Sinister 7. And this will be none other than the defending champs, which again, we said Michael Giuliano, Devin Destiny, and the Insurance Policy. They're going up against Annihilation Inc.'s Axel, Slash, and Crown in match number 1. So what are your thoughts on that one, Flip?
I mean, fucking, you got me on a stumble, because I'm looking through this list that you sent me, and I'm like, where the hell is this next part? I'm scrolling, but I just saw it. It's on the other page over here. I think it's on there we go. There it is.
So again, this is match number 1, best 4 out of 7, Sinister 7. For those who don't know what the Sinister 7 is basically a best 4 out of 7. There's always a stipulation added. In this case, the stipulation was added by Annihilation Inc., and that was Justin Kyle who put it out there. He said that if Annihilation Inc. loses this series, Axel, Slash, and Crown's careers in the WWL are over.
What?
So if that's not exactly. So their careers are on the line. So it's basically title versus career all over again. And you know how that turned out last time when Survivor Dynasty was involved in one of those matches.
Hey, well, shout out. I mean, you got to have some big cojones to sign matches like that. I mean, if you're willing to put your characters, and obviously, you know, for, you know, people listening, you know, obviously you can take your character to another league. That's great. But you got to understand, in an angle-based league, how big this is, because these are angle of it. Yeah, these are you know, angle-based players, you know, that have a big future within this league. So if they're retiring or if they're getting booted from a particular league, that's a big deal. It's huge. That's awesome.
And again, the only reason I granted this, and again, you already know, because the Mayhem titles, they're defended gauntlet style. So, and I'm standing firm with that again, where once you lose those titles, there is no rematch. There's not a guaranteed rematch. You have to re-earn it again. The only reason Axel, Slash, and Crown, because remember, at All Out Mutiny, they did battle for the titles, and they lost barely. But for those who don't know, and you can go back and check the podcast, Giuliano went on air and issued an open challenge to anybody, didn't matter who it was, to skip the rankings and face them for those titles for any stipulation. And the first ones to step up and say, get us back in the ring, was Axel, Slash, and Crown. So because of that, and since they stepped up and took advantage of an open challenge, here they are in the Sinister 7, best 4 out of 7 with their careers on the line.
Nice, and they prove they're ready, because they're the, you know, current.
Listen, Axel, Slash, and Crown, they're by far, I want to say, even though they're not the current champions, they are probably right now the best 6-man in the league. I would put it out there, because they didn't win the IWA World 6-man as well. So these aren't they
the current 6-man champions? No.
Right now, yes, they are. They are the Circle of Sanity champion. This is the third
Yeah.
cycle in a row.
Nice.
They're holding those titles down. They're not letting them go. And again, it's the momentum thing. They have all the momentum going into this. So again, even though even if they lose this one, they still have 6 more matches. So it's not, it's not all is not lost if they lose this one. But I'm pretty sure they want to send a message and try to get that first win under their belt. So it's going to be interesting to see. And I like that it's going to play out over the next, potentially 7 cycles, depending on how it goes. And what's good about that is that while that's going on, I also have, as you know, a round robin tournament that's already going on. And this is actually going to be round 2 taking place at the pay-per-view, where I have 8 of the best 6-man teams in the league right now going at it round robin style to determine who is going to be the #1 contender to face the winner of the Sinister 7 series.
Nice.
So not only do I have the current champions and possibly the best 6-man aside from them going at it for a potential 7, I have the remaining 8 best 6-mans in the league going at it one-on-one over the next 7 cycles as well. So they're running parallel to each other and giving the 6-man division a lot of spotlight right now. So to me, it's just a beautiful thing, man.
I've mentioned it before on other shows how in this game a best of 7 series is like a true test in my eyes, brother, because it's endurance. It can you stay active? It's can you run with the punches? Can you? Oh yeah. I mean, so yeah, definitely.
I was never a believer in that whole one and done makes you the best. Nah, you gotta go through a nice gauntlet first.
Oh, no, yeah. And a best of 7, yeah, definitely. Puts a exclamation point on your victory if you do manage to pull it off.
So there's no debating. There's really no debating. If you win that, that's it. You're the team to beat. There's no fucking way around it. So I'm just loving the fact that I'll have 2 different things going on at the same time for the next few cycles. And again, that was by design. I said I didn't want to just have the spotlight on the 6-man titles and then forget about everybody else that might be in contention. So I put the spotlight on them as well. So let's see how that goes. Let's see though. So that pretty much rounds out the pay-per-view itself. Again, it's a phenomenal pay-per-view if you ask me. Probably one of the best we've had, if not the best. I also do have some tag tournaments coming up. #1 contenders for the Mayhem Tag Title event. I have 8 teams already locked in. So the men's is locked in, and it will start the cycle after this on the return of Turnbuckle Thursday main events. Looking forward to that. Another headlining match for that is going to be just announced Skyblade the Tiger King versus Kabuki Dragon of Crypt Keepers. Those 2 have been going back and forth through the trash talk, and I believe it was Skyblade that wanted the match, so now I'm going to give it to them. So again, it will be Skyblade versus Kabuki headlining Turnbuckle Thursday main event, and on that same show, we're going to see the first match or the first round of the Mayhem Tag Title #1 contenders tournament. So that's going to be a nice one to look forward to, the cycle after this.
Nice.
Let's see, what else do I have? I told you there's a lot going on, Flip.
Oh, yeah.
We also have what I'm calling the Goddess Extreme Scramble. We're going to have, again, this is a cycle after this one, and this is going to headline the return of Taboo Tuesdays, which is the all-female main event show. This is going to be a battle royal, and every female on the roster will be in this battle royal. I'm covering the matches. They will be in it. Whoever wins will automatically get a shot. And whoever the champion is at the time, again, it could be either the Black Widow or it could be Inazuma. But heading into the following pay-per-view, which everyone's been asking for, and we're finally bringing it, it's the all-female pay-per-view, Femme Fatale. And whoever wins will headline that pay-per-view. So I'm looking forward to that, giving the women, their just due. Because, again, in the WWF, women are just as important as the men's division.
Now, just while you're saying that, just so managers outside of our bubble or outside of our league here, Wicked Warz League 8. But you have to have at least 1 or 2 females.
You have to have at least 1 female, and it's an 8-man roster limit.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm. And we also did get a nice beef up on the match deal, current deal we have. Now, before it used to be if you take the match deal, and I think my league is the only one right now that currently still has this deal in place. I mean, obviously, Flip, a lot of commissioners, they try to maneuver their way around having their own little niche when it comes to match deals and how to bring managers in and what have you. I do have mine, which again, I think is the only one like it. And that is if you take the $12 match deal on your debut cycle, you have all wrestler creation, all transfer fees, everything waived. So you're not paying for none of that shit. You're only getting your match deal plus you get the 2 free battle royal entries as well. And before it used to be you would obviously do the 20 and 20, 20, 20 that you choose, 20 against the scrubs. But now I'm adding another 10 scrubs, which I believe you're very familiar with now. Inside joke. You guys will get it when you see the bulletin. But now it's gonna be $12 gets you the 20 matches plus 30 against the bottom 30 scrubs in the league. 10 of those being your guys Flip. And the 2 free battle royal entries on top of that. And plus, if you take the deal 3 consecutive cycles in a row, you earn yourself a 3-for-1 match deal anytime you want, and you still get the 30 at the bottom and the 2 free battle royals on top of that. So to me, it's just an amazing deal for those that like taking a $12 match deal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you gotta keep everybody happy, man.
Oh yeah. No, I think as I mentioned earlier, I mean, obviously, the IWA is a fun place to play. A lot of great leagues. For a minute there, I was, supporting, and like I said, not that I don't want to support a lot of leagues. It's just since I'm an angle-based player, if I'm not trash talking, it's tough for me to support a league if I'm not actually involved. And that's why, I cherish managers and commissioners like yourself that even in a stumble, kept the characters, kept them relevant, kept them in the mix. And for that, brother, like I said, much respect, much love and shit. And
absolutely, man. Listen, Flip, the way I see it, man, to me, whether you're in it every single cycle or every other cycle or every 5 like you've been, to me, listen, you're an integral part of the WWL, man. Because again, a lot of the things,
fuck that shit, man. I gotta be active, man. No taking it easy.
Yeah, of course you do.
Fucking
but
IWA
I'm just gonna fucking disown you either. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, get your ass back in the ring, goddammit.
Yeah, fucking hairy ass bitches. Fucking, I'm gonna braid their fucking shit locks that they've grown out now, man.
Oh, I don't know. But, did you get to see the last report? Did you see?
No.
Did you see the pics? Did you see the braids in their hair? It's funny. It's funny you mentioned that. You need to see the avatars for the savages, bro.
Oh man, I'm in trouble now, bro.
Nah, don't worry. You're gonna like it. It's just very funny that you just said that, because I was thinking the same shit, and that's why I picked the pictures I picked.
Nice. I love it.
Oh, you're gonna love that shit. But yeah, again, for anybody that hasn't seen it yet, again, this cycle actually was one of my better, where I was able to send out the report. I think it was like the day after the cycle dropped. So that just shows I'm really on top of this, man. I've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of extra hours on the report itself, trying to freshen it up. And again, I feel that this last one was definitely one of my best, me personally, and it's only gonna get better, man. I have some big things in the pipeline. One of them I actually alluded to in the Facebook page. And again, for anybody, when I say Facebook page, it's only for the WWL manager. So if you're listening to this and you're not a part of WWL, you will not have any access to our Facebook page. You have to be a manager. So if you want to know what we're talking about, get in on the league. If not, go fuck yourself. But but yeah, I did announce. Yeah, it's being real. But I did announce that I'm trying to, because I read somewhere, I don't remember where I read this, Flip, but there was like a discussion going on in one of the league Facebooks, and somebody said something about the fact that some commissioners, they kind of value or put too much spotlight on the commissioner titles and the importance of those versus bulletin titles and being on, the title page. And I thought about it, and that kind of hit me. I was like, fuck, you know what? I don't want to be guilty of that. I don't want to be the one that's like, all right, yeah, my Mayhem titles supersede the bulletin titles. I'm like, no, even though they're important, yes, don't get me wrong. But I don't want to lose sight of the fact of how important being on that title page is as well for those that might not be Mayhem champions or might not ever become Mayhem champions. So with that being said, this cycle, I'm debuting something of, I don't know if it's been done before, probably hasn't. You know me, Flip, I'm a trendsetter. So if other people start, following along, whatever, it is what it is. But I'm going to give more of a spotlight to those bulletin titles in a special way, and it's going to be a surprise. It will be revealed this cycle. If I'm the first to do it, then fucking pat on my back. If not, really could care less. But I'm just trying to address that specific issue that I found. And I think it's true. I have seen some, commissioners where they come, not that they're oblivious to the title page, but they really do put too much of an emphasis on their commissioner titles. So I'm trying to buck the trend a little bit. We'll see how that one goes.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think we mentioned it even earlier today how even winning one title in the Wicked Warz League is
Yeah,
prestigious, so
yeah,
yeah,
definitely
shout
ready to
out to
win,
that
man.
front page.
Yeah, I mean, I know. Put it this way: there are managers now in the WWL, and again, I don't mention names, but people know who they are. Being 100% real, they've been in the league from day one, and they haven't been on a title page yet. Or if they did, it was
Yeah,
like once, you know. So
perfect, perfect.
like I said, those managers know who they are, but I'm not gonna say anybody names, but But again, yeah, the league is ultra competitive, man. So it is important when you're on that front page. It shows that you can hang, man. Because again, you're literally going up against some of the best in the IWA by far. That's not. There's no debating that. Anyone that comes into the league and sees who's in it and go, oh shit, this guy's there. Wait, this fucking guy's there. Oh shit, like, and everyone has their strengths. Like I have managers that are great with singles. I have managers that are great with tag. I have managers that are great with six. So I have like a mix of everything. So it's not going to be easy. Just like if you're coming into my league and thinking, all right, I'm just going to focus on singles. All right, good luck. Or I'm just going to come in and focus on tag. Fucking good luck, because you're dealing with people that are that damn good in those specific categories. So if you earn a title, man, again, you're definitely in the right league.
Nice.
But yes, that's pretty much I think we covered everything or everything I wanted to cover. I don't know if you want to add anything. You've been gone so fucking long, Flip. Is there anything you want to tell your adoring fans that have missed you for like 5 cycles now?
Fuck. Well, dude, I just hope they can put up with how long I've been. I mean, dude, again,
If
I
they're real, they will.
it wasn't anything done purposely, brother. It's just that's just life, brother. I mean, I'm still here. Obviously, if those listeners that also listen to Interfed Radio, uh, hit me up. I'm definitely looking to do some more
He's
recaps. I know
alive. He's alive.
I'm also looking to go back to what I started with on the Interfed Radio, doing like the interviews for the different managers, that want to tell their side, when kind of
Yeah.
explain the way they play. So any manager out there, if you want to reach out to me, hit me up. I'll do my best to schedule a nice time and get a little show going. Get some more IWA interviews going as well.
And listen, just to help with that little incentive, any WWL manager that wants to do a podcast on Interfed Radio, not on mine, because on mine you're obligated regardless. But if you're doing a show with Flip on Interfed Radio, and I find out who that manager is, I'll shoot you 5 free matches just for going there. How's that? There's a little incentive.
Scored.
There you
Nice.
go, man. So if you want 5 free matches, if you're struggling one cycle, you want a couple more matches, call up Flip, you get them.
There you go.
Scratch
There
my
you
back,
go.
I'll scratch yours, man. That's all.
That's the way it works around here. But yeah,
Exactly.
no. But no, Melvin. More than anything, just want to say thanks, brother. Thanks for keeping the characters around. Thanks for everything. I mean, anyone that's in the league knows how much work you put in. Anyone that's ever
Oh,
been a
yeah.
commissioner like myself knows how
It's not easy.
Oh no, not at all, brother. I mean, if it was a month, it would be even better. I mean, but these things come like they just keep coming, brother. I mean, yeah,
Yeah, man.
so the grind in the IWA is actually real as well.
It really is, bro. But again, I think now I've structured my time a little bit better. I'm able to hit up the report in a much better like flow, because you definitely have to have. I do know that there's some commissioners that wait till the last fucking minute and they try to do the entire report. But again, that's
Overnight
because
and,
they have.
and email it to Kim at 8 in the
Yeah,
morning.
and they fucking like half asleep and shit, and they fucking typos and forgetting shit,
Oh
and I
yeah.
see that happens. So, but with me, you see, my report is I put so much into it. I don't have that luxury. So I literally have to structure it where like every day I'll put like an hour to it. You know what I mean? Like I prioritize. All
Just
right,
to
this
just to get
hour
it. Oh
is
yeah.
just for the report. Or I'm just gonna focus on this section of the report on this day, and then the next day I'm only gonna focus on this section. And I do that now up until the report's ready. And by the time I know it, I'm done. And I'm waiting
Nice.
just for trash talk, which I can do quick. Like as long as I get the trash talk, coming up with the artwork is nothing. I just read what they're saying and I can like put it, bring it to life, no problem. My main focus is my stuff, which is the makes up a bulk of the report itself. So I try to make sure that that's up to par, up to my standards. And for anybody that doesn't know how serious I'm taking this, if you look at it, again, it's only WWL managers can see my report as it is. Unless you're interested, I'll maybe shoot you one just so you can see. But the cover, Flip, I don't know if you even saw the main cover of my report. I sent some shots across the IWA. So this was my shots fired cover sheet. And if anybody didn't realize what I did, and I don't know what the hell you smoking, but I clearly sent the shots to pretty much every commissioner in the IWA.
Nice.
It's not, again, it's all in good fun. I don't want, like we'll say all the time, don't get fucking butthurt if you see or anything. It's all in entertainment. It's all out of fun. It's just my way of saying, you know, I'm here as a commissioner. I see your reports. I see the copying some people are doing. I see what it is. Like, this is my way of saying, you know what, fuck you. I'm Mayhem. I'm the one who started all this shit, and this is my way of reminding you of who the fuck I am and just how good my reports are. But it's all in good fun. It's not to single out and say, you know, this commissioner ain't shit or this kind of, I love all commissioners. You know that, Flip, more than anybody. You know, I love the fact that if anybody could take over a league in general and just help build the league for whatever reason, then kudos to you. You have my respect because I know what it's like to do that. But at the same time, you got to know how to have fun in this game. And you already know I'm not one of those people that take shit seriously. So if somebody sees my report cover and they see a nuclear bomb dropped on their cover, I'm sorry, but that's my message to you. You got to check it out, Flip. If you haven't already, you'll see you're going to love the fuck. Man. I think it was my best cover yet. Ever.
Yeah. I mean, and I think you said it best right there, man. We do this game as a hobby. We do this game to have fun. Like I said, nothing is personal. Nothing is this and that. I mean, it's just, if you print it, it becomes, you know, fair game is the way I say it. It's like, if that's what you want to print, it's fair game. Then I can use it.
And my league, like I keep saying, is uncensored. Anything goes. So if I'm not able to do that, then what good is it for me to tell somebody else? You know, so I have to set the standard and show these managers, damn, he just did that. Like, I'm shocked no one's come to me and said, dude, what the hell was up with that cover? I'm shocked, bro. But you know what? It is what it is.
Nice.
Maybe when you see, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit," because you'll understand as a commissioner, a journeyman, like how fucked up it is what I did. But it's a lot of fun, bro. I love all you commissioners out there. Don't take it serious. Much love. Don't come fucking knocking on my door like, "Yo, what kind of shit was that?" Step your game up.
Up the game. I mean, I mean, just like anything else, and I think I'll end on this. I mean, look at what you did for the bulletin covers.
Yeah, man.
And then, I mean, you know, some people kept it going. Some people tried. Some people, and shout out to those commissioners that have that creative avenue and have that the means to do it. Because, I mean, it's a nice thing to add to your league. It's a nice thing to kind of, kind of move you past all the other leagues. Not to take anything away from all the other leagues. Like I said, I know some leagues aren't about that creative aspect. I get it, but you know, those leagues that are, like, shoot. Up your game.
And I always say that, like I always try to say, like, you know, if you have ideas, they always, and you said it too, like just run it by Kim, see if they, you know, accept it. Like the last one I had wasn't even the covers. It was the whole strat, the strat flows and like all the point totals and who flowed what for like singles and tag.
Oh,
and six
that's
man.
right.
That
yeah.
Me. I started that, and again, everybody started doing it also. But again, you need to have that. You know, if my thing is just think of something that'll make it easier for you as a commissioner.
Yeah.
Like what tool exactly, like what tool can you use, you know? And for me, the reasoning behind having that done for everybody was tracking tournaments, because it made it super easy to just look at the flows and go, okay, here go all the strategies for everything, not just singles, but now I have it for tag and for sig, and I can see who flowed what and who was tied right there. And I don't know, all right, well, if I have a tie, I can go by point flow. I won't have to reach out to Kim and find out and wait fucking 2 days to get an email. And, you know, and I had a bunch of commissioners inbox me like, dude, that was such a great idea, because it helped me tremendously, you know, and they know who they are. And I told them that, you know, you're welcome, because it helped me. That's the reason I did it. You know, so if you have any ideas, definitely don't be scared to run it by. You might get shot down, but listen, try, because if it's going to help all the other managers or commissioners, then why not? You know what I mean? So, but at the end of the day, man, step your game up. All you commissioners, there's some out there that could be doing a lot better. Step your fucking game up. Stop stripping people of titles and all kinds of craziness that I'm seeing. Just, you know, do your thing, people. Do your thing.
Nice.
But yeah, I'll end that, because I know we're going off here. It's been a while, and again, brother, it's been fucking a blessing to have you back on the show. I'm hoping that we get another one pretty soon, and we don't have to wait another 5 months to get you back on the air.
No, definitely not. And like I said, even if it's a later show, like I said, we'll find ways. But I know my natives are getting restless outside the door because I hear the knocks. But
oh yeah, trust me, I know.
Yeah, yeah, oh yeah.
But listen,
I actually remember those first few shows. It's like, hey, bro, I got to put my kids to bed before I even start. So just
you know it, bro. That's the real life. Real life happens. You gotta, then we just do the editing after. That's all.
I love
But
it,
yeah,
man. I
man,
love
Flip, it was a pleasure having you. I'm glad you're back on the show. I wish you nothing but love, man. I'm glad you're back in the game for however long it is or however many leagues you're able to fucking flow and work with. Just make sure my league is one of them, you piece of shit.
it. You can definitely guarantee that, brother.
No fucking doubt, man. So anybody listening, this has been Wicked Words Podcast. It's your host, the gold motherfucking standard, Melvin Mayhem, along with my co-host this evening, the great voice of IWA Interfed Radio, Flip himself. Until next time, take care, people.
Peace.